focus on the Giants. Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Bears preview as the Bears go on a roll to Meadowlands at 2-1 to take on the same record 2-1 New York Football Giants. I'm going to give my predictions. I'm going to give some of my analysis of matchups and all things that's going into this game. But before I preview and predict this Bears contest, make sure you guys hit this video a like, as it always can help this channel to grow and it beats the algorithm. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and click that sub button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the content that I post. But let's talk about the Bears versus the Giants. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Not only is this a matchup with teams with a very similar record, but throughout the first 3 weeks of the season, this is a matchup of teams that have played very similar football. Two running games that have been carried. The Bears by Justin Fields, Khalil Herbert, David Montgomery, and we have the New York Giants with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. On defense for both teams, there have been some struggles, there have been some mishaps, but both teams have made timely and key stops in order to win football games. The Giants are coming off of a loss on Monday night to the Dallas Cowboys. The Bears are coming off of that ugly win against the Houston Texans last week. But like I said, none of that matters going into this week. So the first thing I want to talk about is both teams' running game. The running games for the Bears and the running games for the Giants have carried them offensively. Both teams struggled. Passing game, to say the least. Now, I did make a video recently about the Bears passing game. I will leave that in the cards and as well as in the description below, talking about the deeper reasons why this Bears passing game has struggled throughout the first 3 weeks. The passing game of the New York Giants has struggled as well. Their receivers, Kenny Golladay hasn't shown up. Kadarius Toney has been dealing with injuries. And now on top of that, Sterling Shepard tore his ACL last week against the Dallas Cowboys, and he was one of their more consistent receivers that they've had, and he is now out. So this football team for the Giants has struggled passing the football as well as the Bears, and the Giants have been carried by their run game just like the Bears. The offensive lines for both sides have been really solid in the running game. The pass protection not so much, as Daniel Jones was under a lot of pressure last week against the Cowboys, and Justin Fields was under a good amount of pressure last week against the Houston Texans. Both offensive lines for both teams, not good in passing, good at the running game. For both defenses, as the Bears defense has improved in the running game from where they were against the Green Bay Packers and to where they are now against the Houston Texans. They made some dramatic improvements. They held the Texans to under 100 yards rushing. They do need to clean some things up in the secondary. Jalen Johnson is still dealing with some injuries. Jalen Jones stepped in. He played a little bit solid. Kyler Gordon has to step up as well. Those are two young rookie corners, and Kendall Vildor had a so-so game last week. Now, as we talk about this Giants defense, they have a strong presence up front with Dexter Lawrence. Leonard Williams is now questionable for this game, but they have guys like Julian Love. They have guys like Xavier McKinney. They have guys like Adoree Jackson in their secondary that have stepped up and made some play. Kayvon Thibodeau, the rookie as well, has played solidly. You know, I think he could be a little bit better. This Giants defense is solid, but there's much room for improvement, just like the Chicago Bears defense, especially in the run game for both teams. Now, as we look at the Chicago Bears defense, hopefully Jalen Johnson can be healthy. Hopefully a guy like Roquan Smith doesn't have that lingering hip injury, even though he played absolutely tremendous football last week against the Houston Texans. Hopefully he can keep that play up. Now, as we talk about this Giants offense versus this Bears defense, the Giants are going to come out and they're going to run the football as they've been doing. Now, the improvements for them need to come in their passing game, and I think Daniel Jones has to play a lot better than what he has early on in the season. He has been very solid running the football with his legs, but along with his struggling receivers, he has to be better as well. Now, they do have David Sills and guys like Wan'Dale Robinson and Richie James, with Kenny Golladay struggling and Kadarius Toney questionable at this point. So they have a lot of young receivers, they have a lot of inexperienced receivers, and they have guys who are supposed to be stepping up but are absolutely struggling. And that is why this Giants team, especially last week against the Dallas Cowboys, were majorly moving the football off of Daniel Jones scrambles, Daniel Jones runs, Saquon Barkley screens, and Saquon Barkley running the football. And Matt Breida, as well as his backup, has been coming in and playing very solid. So this Giants offense is going to come out and run the football. If you make this team one-dimensional and beat you from the pocket, the Bears have more of a chance of winning this football game. Get pressure on Daniel Jones with Travis Gibson. Robert Quinn, I believe, has to step up and play a little bit more football. Dominic Robinson, guys like that, they have to step up and get to the quarterback, because they did not really have a lot of pressure last week against the Houston Texans. And that is one thing that is key for this Bears defense, is getting out of the quarterback and creating turnovers. They made some turnovers last week, but they were not able to get after the quarterback consistently, and I think that's what hurt them as well. They're going to have to find ways to slow down the Giants' running game and Saquon Barkley and a guy like Daniel Jones. Expect the Bears to play a little bit more of an 8-man box, because the Giants' passing game, like the Bears, has been struggling throughout most of this season early on. And if you make this Giants team one-dimensional, you're going to have a good opportunity to beat them. Now, we're going to speak on this Bears offense against this Giants defense. This Bears offense has been absolutely struggling to throw the football. Now, we're still going to wait word if David Montgomery is going to be available or not. We do have Khalil Herbert, who stepped in and played tremendous football, over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Justin Fields in this Bears passing game has to be better. Now, it does not help that you lose a guy like Byron Pringle. It does not help at all, because he was a guy that brought some speed and brought that element to this offense. Even though this passing offense has been struggling most of the season, Equanimeous St. Brown, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet, all of those guys are going to have to step up and beat their one-on-one matchups and win them in order for this passing game to be better. And this Bears offensive line is going to have to protect from guys like Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, and the rookie Kayvon Thibodeau. They are going to have to be much better in pass protection this week if they really want to get this passing game going. The offensive line has been a shuffle. Guys like Patrick, guys like Jenkins, Whitehair, Braxton Jones, guys like Larry Borom, they've all been in and out of the lineup, as well as Mustafa. It has been a lot of shuffling along this offensive line, and I think that is part of the reason why the passing game has struggled as well. They're going to have to find some continuity. They're going to have to pass all blocks. They're going to have to read the blitzes well. The key for the Giants to slow this Bears offense down is to make them one-dimensional. Take away the running game. At this point, you got two very similar football teams. Two teams that have loved to run the football, two teams that have been moving offensively by running the football, and you have two defenses that are kind of so-so. They have some guys that have been playing well on both sides. You have two defenses that need to step up, and they need to be just a little bit better for this team to win. But I'm going to give my 3 keys to a Bears victory. One key is the easiest key. Get the passing game going. Now, I'm not saying this team has to be absolutely explosive and be throwing the ball all over the football field, but you have to make this passing game a threat, because if you can make the Bears one-dimensional, you can beat the Chicago Bears football team. If the Giants can make the Bears one-dimensional, you can beat them. So at this point, you have to really not establish it to be the focal point. It just has to be remotely better than what it has been these past 3 weeks for the Bears offense. Number 2, for the Bears to win, you have to make the Giants one-dimensional. Make Daniel Jones beat you from the pocket. Make Daniel Jones throw the football to win this game. Now, Brian Daboll has added some concepts, and they're going to be slowly transitioning, just like the Bears offense under Luke Getsy as well. You should have to slow down Saquon Barkley. You have to slow down Daniel Jones on his scrambles and on some of those read options and some of those RPOs and some of those runs that Brian Daboll and Daniel Jones like to do. And the number 3 key, get takeaways. You have to take the ball away, get your offense in better field position, and not make them drive long drives down the field, because this Bears offense has proven they have not been great with those long drives. So at the end of the day, create some of those turnovers, make key stops, win the field position battle, and the Bears have a chance to win this game. Field position is one thing that is going to be key in this contest between two struggling passing games and two so-so defenses. So if the Bears can win, number 1, the game of field position and the time of possession, they have more of a chance to win this football game than the Giants do. But with all that said, my pick for this game will be, I'm going to go with the road team, and I'm going to pick the Chicago Bears in this one. Daniel Jones in the Giants passing game has been slightly better than the Bears, even though not by much. I just think you cannot go any worse for this Bears passing game. You cannot get any worse. And you're going against a Giants defense that has not been necessarily great. And I believe this is, I ain't going to say the coming out party of Justin Fields, but I believe this will be the game where you see Justin Fields start to take more of those steps in his development and in this Luke Getsy offense. The running game for the Bears will be, I think, still stout, with that offensive line playing solid up front. Whether David Montgomery is back or not, Khalil Herbert has looked really great spelling for him, and Justin Fields' ability with his legs as well. I think the Bears will make just enough plays, and I think they will make less mistake and one more takeaway than this Giants team in order to pull off a victory. It is going to be a very close game, and it's really two teams that are not very good, even though they're both 2-1. I still don't believe either team has reached their point in any facet of the game. So either way it goes, I'm going to pick this Bears team in a very, very close game, and I think it will be a little bit low scoring, and I'm going to pick the Bears to win 17-14 on the road to improve at 3-1. That is all I got to say about this Bears-Giants game. Make sure you guys leave this video a like, and if you got anything to say, comments, or what do you think will be keys, leave them in the comment section down below. And as always, if you are not subbed, go ahead and click the sub button and notification bell so you will not miss anything that I post on this channel. But I'm APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe, have a great and excellent day, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bear down. Peace.